And remember, this is why I keep trying to sell it with my friend. You can wear anything. That's where I'm trying to get. I already got a boob
Yeah.
situation. I can't go. I have to get. You know what I mean? I can't have more problems in that area. Like, you know what I
So
mean? Like, I stressing, I call it.
I'm sure.
But yeah,
So women, just women that would love your problem.
no, yeah, no.
Introduce myself, then you can introduce yourself first. Everybody here knows me. I'm Manny's Fitness Fortress on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and Manny Brandon on Facebook. Fitness, wellness, health coach, bodybuilder, personal trainer, YouTuber, and all that. And I just try to inspire people, get people to start eating the right stuff, find out some things in their life that they're doing backwards, and try to correct that for a better quality of life. And definitely debunk all this garbage on the news and social media from the government, because they're trying to dumb us down. So I want to put out good information for your fitness, nutrition, wellness, and just lifestyle. And today I have with me
Amy Granberg. Alphas Unite is my tag here, but Amy Granberg on Facebook. This is since we're talking about censorship, this is my 4th account, so lucky for all the reasons of speaking truth. So that's what we're gonna talk about, that speaking truth.
Cool. So today the title of this video, guys, is called "You're Miserable Because You're Fat," and that's shocking, but it's a prelude to a lot of successful, you want to get to the point where you have great solutions. So it's a prelude to successful solutions. And it's funny because a lot of people don't respond. Just like you can have a car commercial, it's a dude standing over a car trying to sell it, waving his hand in a commercial, and the sales are stagnant. But you put a woman in a dress with her heels up or laying across that hood of that car, and all of a sudden you got massive sales. And that's the same thing with this title. People don't really, they tend to scroll past stuff that's like less abrasive or just not shocking. So you gotta have a little shock value sometimes to sell whatever. But first thing we're gonna get into is the physicality and how food interacts, how humans interact with food, and how it really controls and affects your relationship. Primarily like your intimate relationships. So the first point we want to go over is what is the best type of beautiful benefit for men and women from adequate body maintenance and weight loss. Like, what are the benefits cosmetically for improving the value of men and women?
Well, aside from quality of life, because that's what I talk about. I'm always talking about I want to unite men and women together, and then I want to talk about the truth. That's why I forgot to introduce myself that way. What I do here, talk about relationships, but it's mostly I unite alpha men and women, people who are just that's where we're getting together to debunk some myths. But as far as beauty goes in this space, I'm only gonna speak for girls. I'm gonna speak for the women on this one, but myself, as I was 15 minutes late today, and all my girlfriends, it's stressing. Half the reason that women do not go on screen, do not go out, inhibit your social life now, the dysmorphia is out of control, and I call it stressing. If every single thing you put on is uncomfortable, you give up, and then I call it, then you go into the world of stretch pants, which I think the yoga and the stretch pants kill us. No, you can't wear stuff that goes from 2 to 24. COVID killed us. You wore the same pants, and then it went up 3 sizes. So that's that. I think that's just the tip in itself. We've gotten away from jeans. The average woman doesn't even own a pair of jeans now. They've given up work.
You know what? Right. That's crazy because you're right. It's like just in general, the whole market towards more a malleable attire has been out there. Like I see more people in sweatpants and joggers and stuff. Like even the store, used to be a time when, like you said, I used to see a ton of women wearing dresses or wearing pants going grocery shopping. But now I see yoga pants and joggers on women really that don't even work out. Even the ones
no, that's what I call it. This is what, especially on Staten Island here where I'm from, I call it athletic wear. And we've never been so out of shape in our entire lives. So everybody's fat wearing athletic wear. which is hysterical to me. And they usually have some type of ailment. Some, like, they have the
Yeah.
athletic wear, they have some, like, I don't know, something on their boot, on their foot, they got something on their hands. It's like everyone's falling apart, but they're all wearing their athletic wear. Sneakers. I think I own one pair of sneakers that I work out, and that's it. I don't even work out with sneakers. I could work out barefoot, actually. Because, I just think it's wild to me that I think this is creating more of the dysmorphia or something. You're not going to go out. You're not. That's why because I want to really people dating. That's why they're not dating, and then inundated with these images. So the way my other tip is, don't look at them. You can't go through the models. I can't do it. I would never go online. I was on Instagram for 5 freaking minutes. I got 16 girls with BBLs and their perfect bodies at 20 years old with the filter, with the AI. We don't want to go out of the house. So I say, don't look at them. Go look at real life. Like you said, go walk around, go to Target, go to the mall. And if people don't realize, what do you say? 1%. You'd be a 1%er by just being slim. Not even fit.
Yeah, exactly. It's gotten to that point. And that's great. Just like evaluate reality for what reality is, and then put in the work to constantly try to improve your health. And one thing for the men, one of the advantages of diving in and improving your weight to better relationships with food. When you improve your weight and your physicality through a better relationship with food, you're going to be more attractive to females, to the opposite sex. And some of the great results of that are you might even open yourself up to modeling. If you're have that type of mindset, when you lose fat, your cheekbones become exposed. You put yourself in a better place for business interests. People notice you out and about. And public venues you go to, and also it's just more attractive in a dating marketplace. That's one way to upgrade yourself or level up for a man is when you lose weight, you go up like 50%, because most of dating and meeting and greeting is based on physicality. You definitely want to get to know the person. You want to get the vibe. You want to get their characteristics, see what type of soul they have. But physicality is the first thing. That's why commercialism is so big. That's why thumbnails are so important. It's about that first 30-second reaction of what you see. So when you level up and you improve your health, you automatically upgrade yourself in the dating marketplace. Men and women, but definitely men.
1,000,000%. And remember, this is why I keep trying to sell it with my friend. You can wear anything. That's where I'm trying to get. I already got a boob situation. I can't go. I have to get. You know what I mean? I can't have more problems in that area. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I do stressing, I call it.
I'm sure so. Women that would love your problem.
No. Not when it gets to a certain point. But no, that makes you all more self-conscious, and you do look fatter, and you do. No, I call it fashion, and ideally dressing for a woman. I call it like form-fitting. Fashion forward clothing, because this is what happens. The more overweight you are, the more out of shape you are, roly-polies I call it, the more the more structured your clothing has to be. Then you're going into wire bras, then you're going into Spanx, then you go into more restrictions, all just more and more and more stress. And believe me, if it came in a bottle, like I said, everybody would have it, but now everyone's just buying it. And since I'm around that demographic now, I'm telling you, I'm trying to encourage people with all their heart to do it like I'm trying to do it naturally, as much as you can, because they're not realizing that a BBL and all this surgery is not. You can't cheat the hustle. Am I wrong? You can't. But when it goes to look, how about looks alone? Just posture, which I'm always working on because of the chest. You know what I mean? That alone. That's an epidemic. We're talking beauty. First of all, you're losing 3 inches, men. This is an epidemic with men too, especially young men. I see, because of the tech. You're creating wrinkles on top of it. Then you're adding into you're the expert. Without proper posture, doesn't that set the tone for absolutely everything?
They actually talk about
start with that. No,
even when you're walking, when you're sitting at a desk job at work, just a lot of people are just not conscious of their posture. Some people have bad posture from years and years of having their shoulders set too far, abrupt, too far forward. But just like being conscious of the way you sit, if you want to get into the physical part of it, inversion tables are really good for that. Inversion tables help decompress the spine, which actually improves your posture. If you don't have one of those, women and men go to a gym or at home and hang from a bar, a pull-up bar,
Yeah.
just hang. But yeah, that also there's actually a big correlation between posture with men and women and the confidence that you emit to the opposite sex. If someone's walking and they're slunched down like this or slunched over, even if they're attractive, they give off the vibe of not confident or, But if you're walking upright like this, head up, shoulders up, eyes straight, it presents an aura of more confidence and approachability. So that's
Oh,
that's definitely,
100%. Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's a huge epidemic. You look 10 pounds slimmer just from being
And
standing up straight. And
when
men get 2 more inches at least in height. Stand the frig
yeah,
up.
yeah. And
You know how many times,
also,
because I'm 5'10", I'm 5'10", and when I truly correct my posture all the time when I'm standing, especially like on a video,
yeah,
the people will go, "Oh my God, you're so tall!" Like even taller, because they don't realize I'm like, no, I'm standing up straight. I want to like,
exactly.
especially the young people, I want to go behind them and like kind of like smack them on their backs, like stand the frig
Right.
up,
Yeah,
sit
that's
up, head neck.
another
And
great
they
point.
also said you're gonna have one with facelifts at like in their late 30s at this, where this is it's also the bad food is premature aging. We can't even go into the skin. Did you know
Yeah.
that I looked up? This is wild talking about beauty. That in the before the processed foods came in, we're gonna go. I think it was like in the 60s when it really started. Early 70s it started coming in. There was no cellulite. Women honestly had no cellulite
Right,
because it's
right.
pieces of plastic from the food that are causing these little lumps in the back of our bodies. So,
This is
and our waists expanded by 5 inches now. Not only like, well, the
yeah.
average waist that was like on a woman, I think it's like 36.
I want people to
And that's and
piggyback.
that's tiny girls. Like
Yeah,
that's like
piggybacking on that, that's important because people need to realize that don't take anything else away from this live. The food has changed, like you said, uh, late 60s, early 70s, where bread used to be a really healthy food for your gut. But
mhm.
over the years, when you see the packages of macaroni and cheese, crazy kid cereals, all these pasta items, and it says enriched. I'm gonna explain to you guys what enriched means for you ladies too, because for some reason, ladies love more pasta than they love pasta. Enriched means they've taken out the original nutrients,
Right.
okay, and put in fillers. They've taken out most of the nutrients and put in a little bit of empty calories, and then the rest is just fillers. So when you have bread that used to be like super healthy, but now it causes inflammation, uh, gut, leaky gut, uh, leads to bloating, along with certain pasta dishes. And I'm talking about because this is important, guys. What you eat is ultimately going to dictate who you end up with. Because if you look, couples tend to match. They may not stay the same size as they progress through the relationship. But when I see couples, when I know people from high school, they tend to match. Couples usually around the same size. There's exceptions, but they tend to match. And one tends to share the same diet as the other.
It,
From
and,
what
it,
the,
would- and honestly, it won't work. Not only because I had one
yeah,
relationship toxic as F, but that was a huge red flag of his complete lack of discipline. And men do lead the relationship. Well, I prefer that. And well, we're preaching alpha, right? The men lead the relationship and they lead the homes, and they are the direct reason. How do I say it? When the kids are obese, they follow
right,
that dad. And when it comes to your lover or whoever's in, you have to watch who you're around. You're absolutely right. And I prefer, because the man is leading, that
right,
he be better than me in that area.
right.
Like I want to learn from him. So if that just shows such discipline, and it's structured through his whole life. Not only your quality of life, it means you can't get up, you can't stay steadfast, you can't do something consecutively, because working out, as we know, is all
Right. Touching on
repetition.
that, one thing that's really important, always want to keep going back to the title of this video. A lot of women don't realize that there's a lot of foods, the stuff that they're putting in the foods today that affect your hormones and
Oh,
how you affect
everything.
your emotions and how you react to people. So when you start cleaning up your diet, you're going to be less miserable. I'm talking about 8 weeks to like 6 months. I don't care what you do, keto, pescatarian, carnivore, just get the sugar out. Get the sugar out and the processed foods, because all those diets actually incorporate or about eating clean food, no matter what it is. But a lot of hormonal things going on, and men and women, when you interact with each other in relationships, you're fueling your body and your brain. So your reactions, your emotional reactions, your mental reactions is the catalyst of what you ate really the last month. So when you clean up your diet, you're going to have less brain fog. You're going to have more cognitive ability. When you get out the processed and inflammatory carbs, you're going to have more clarity. You're going to make better decisions. You're going to have more emotional thought process, better emotional thought processes. All that. That's why food is so important. And
it's a drug. And I want people to. That's kind of like the way I look at it now. Like I sit there, I eat to live, not live to eat, because it's an activity now. It is the number one activity. Like you were saying, every date now is just sitting around and eat. Everything's revolving around food. And actually, what cracks me up, it's even almost replacing drinking. And even the drinking now is insane. We're talking about pumping sugar. I went to this. I wrote this down. I went to the back of this. In the mall where they have candy. My kids wanted to buy candy, right? So in the back, I see all these pretty bottles, all different colors of the rainbows. And I was like, what is that? They were like, they're carrying booze. It's every single flavor, every single color. And then they're putting it in these mudslides with ice creams and things and sugar. And fucking, by the time you drink that, oh my God, you want to age yourself? Drink sugar. And then we're washing down. We're just killing ourselves, like killing our beauty. That's why and then it's leading to, here we go, more and more and more. And even the beauty, how wild is this? I have a friend who's a plastic surgeon, and he told me that, like, optimally, women put, like, when you see all these celebrities and everybody's shoving their faces with filler, putting all these foreign subjects in their body, that's because he says that women now, how crazy is this, are so unhealthy that now they're going in for surgeries. So everyone thinks the surgery is going to correct it. They're getting sick. Their faces are falling off because they're smoking. They're vaping. Just keep adding to this thing, caffeine, like you said. They're even ruining their cosmetic work on top of it. The BBLs, they're dropping.
Exactly.
They're spreading. There's no back muscle. So what we're trying to say is, we're trying to pump. You can't cheat the hustle, and it's worth it. If you're poor, I don't care if you're on the streets, you need your, like you said, it's a leg up. And now we're giving people the chance to be a 1%er. Where are you going to do it?
Yeah.
You're not going to be a millionaire.
That's how you do it. That's how you level up. You start your journey on to 1%. Your lifestyle, stop competing with everybody else like that you see on the Instagram that you don't even know their backstory, how many clinics they went to get their butt fixed, how many, calf implants they got, liposuctions. Don't compete with what you see online.
It's so fake. That's why we have to keep pumping. We have to keep pumping that, how false images they are. First of all, those women, okay, let's just go with the bikini models and girls. Who are the really buff guys, right? We know they're 1%. Now if you take a 1%er, am I right? That 1% of all population, do you see them in real life? Do you see bikini models walking around in real life?
Right.
Not really.
Exactly, no.
Maybe one. I'm in New York, height model capital world. It's not, models ain't looking so hot because of the unhealth. So so I try to remind everybody that's 1% and have a filter and it's AI. So you're already starting off that way, and we keep going. And now the top accounts are all AI.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think the best is to unfollow them.
Yeah.
It's an algorithm, and it's going to be constantly popping up. I watched somebody do it on ponytails now. I got endless toe pics. Now I'm getting smart over my toes.
That's true. So many people. One more point before we move on to the next point. So many people have. I mean, when I was in high school, there was there was other sources of media and influence around us, but basically, we as guys were like, "Yo, how much you benching today? Oh, you like that girl over there? You better get your body up. You better get your weight up." We use each other right here to inspire each other, and we held ourselves accountable because there was no social media to look at some person lying and saying, "Listen, you can do this by just doing this." And I think that has been taken away from us as a society, where they infuse our minds with the prospect of you can just look and follow these guys and attain this, not knowing the whole backstory. Whereas before, you had to put in the work. You had to put in the work because there was no other way, And
that's what you have to do the work. And the way to sell it again, I want to flip this part. You're miserable because you're fat, because you're not realizing that everything is stemming from one little poor thing. It's like somebody who's poor, right? I don't have money. Yeah. And then they realize that not having a job stems to everything else. That's your body. So
it's like
if you think of any, I'm depressed. You're probably fat or out of shape.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate the way all my clothes look. You're probably fat and out of shape.
Yeah.
I don't like. I feel very uncomfortable in bed. I'm like I feel very self-conscious. You're probably fat and out of shape. Your body hurts. And I'm going to speak. I don't, because the patriarch kills you over 30. So I'm quite older. But nowadays, how do I say it? Everything is stemming from that. Like when they're complaining to me about sick, they can't stand up straight over and over again. Hello, whoever that is. They're going to, it's all coming from weight. Every single thing. Everything is stemming from your weight. If you just cleared that up and then you don't look at it as a million problems.
Right. That's the
I
thing.
like to get to the core of the problem. That's the real problem. And everybody's an expert. Yeah. You are, but everybody is. Everybody's always loves to say the negative stuff to me. Like, it's coming from a fat person. It always is. I had a woman shaming me for a banana. I was eating a banana, which is a good sexy trick, by the way. Yeah. Anyway, when you're out, it shows you're eating. But that's an awesome fast food. And she comes over to me, and she was morbidly obese, and she was just like, those are a lot of calories, those bananas. I was like, yeah. And she goes, a lot of sugar in there. Yeah. You're worried about your sugar? How about you drinking your 700 calorie coffee there?
Yeah. That's what I'm pointing. I'm going to interject real quick, and we're going to move on to the best result for sexual power.
Thank you.
This is a great example of what you just said. There's been so much misinformation online. One thing that if you ladies, guys want to know this, sugar from fruits bypasses the pancreas. It's not stored in fatty tissue. Your body utilizes that. It's a different type of sugar. Fructose is not the same thing as glucose. It's not the same thing as multidextrin. It's not the same thing as high fructose corn syrup. Okay, high fructose corn syrup is in 95% of the products that we buy that are sweetened. So when you eat sweet bananas, stuff like that, which are not like berries, strawberries are more low glycemic, but bananas do have sugar. You know what they also have? Bananas is an alkaline fruit. It's alkaline.
And it helps
also has,
like you were saying about
digestion.
A prescription.
Yeah,
when women are older, our blood sugar drops and we become insane. This is why girls can't, when you're like, I don't know what I want to eat. We don't know where we're going. Once our blood sugar drops, we're lost. One banana brings me right back up. I don't know if it's magnesium in it. I'm not really sure, but I just know it's something. We're overcomplicating everything. It's so simple.
It's great balance.
Best beauty secret: food.
Yeah, it's balance. Because, like I said, if you got low blood sugar, you eat a banana, you'll bring it back up level. If you have spiking blood sugar, you got to eat proteins and eliminate your highly refined carbs. Start eating sweet potatoes. Simple fix. And we're going to do a whole another standalone video on that.
Yes.
But next we're going to move into what is the best result or best benefits for sexual power, best results and benefits stemming from your healthier lifestyle. And some things that are affected are your libido, improved energy for your partner, and just overall your aura. And like I said, this is all really stemming from lifestyle and food. When you start attacking foods that are affecting your libido, one of the highest, the biggest problems in men's sex life is, erectile dysfunction. Okay, and that comes from.
What's the worst thing for men? What is the worst thing for men to eat for their sex life?
Oh, there's a lot of foods. Anything that
we got a sexual person right there online, and that's the key. What's the best thing with sex? Makes you want to take your people who want to take their clothes off have more sex. Very simple.
Yeah, that's a.
And when it comes to women are very self-conscious. Every single thing we got everything from hair to this to smells to this to that. We're a mess already. The last thing you need is, because the whole time you're thinking, because I know I could speak when I was pregnant, especially when a woman after she has a baby, all you're thinking, we can't get into the mindset, you can't let go. All you're doing is, that's why you gotta be a bitch like me, not care, but you know what I mean? Like the whole time it's in her head. And so many men complain that they're in sexless marriages, and it's stemming again, but she's fat. Why do you think that the second they break up, everybody does this glow up?
Yeah.
They know.
It's
they know
crazy.
that I'm going to be with someone else now, and I'm going to be self-conscious, and they know that it gears up to that. But usually when a woman doesn't want to have sex, and she did, that's the reason.
Yeah,
that's
correct.
A little bit better time with it. They'll have their big fat belly out there, and then they don't really mind as much. I call it like Tony Sopranos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. There are more women that are still attracted to their men, even if the men get a sort of a belly. Then there are men that are attracted to their women the way they
Yeah.
used to be over the course of gaining weight to a woman.
But we're
And yeah,
gaining weight weird. Can we talk about that with the
yeah,
sex? That's what's different. Like for example, my body type, right? Like even though I'm an hourglass, I don't get roly poly fat. I get skinny fat. Do you know? Like we can talk about that where it just goes
yeah,
in the middle so that it looks not
yeah.
balanced. Like not everybody's like this the perfect plus size model where it goes a lot to your ass or to your
Right.
hips. We don't. If we're like weird body types are taking form. Did you notice this? We're like it's like huge backs, skinny legs. We're getting what's the word? Atrophy
Yeah.
on our body. Like you were saying,
The
that's what
food,
laughing
yeah, the
plants.
food, the food is like the way it's being processed
No
today.
acid.
Made it's going to separate body parts and not being distributed all over the body based on that and the lack of movement. So yeah, I see that all the time. It's weird body parts. Women having
Weird.
big backs or you know, big
But we
arms,
get
shoulders. Like
migrating breast tissues now more. Hi,
yeah,
Debbie.
yeah,
Debbie, we're
it's
talking
crazy.
about Debbie. We're talking about how your looks and sex life is directly affected by your weight. And think about it this way: like, this is just 10 pounds. We're not going to get crazy. Everyone gets. This is what I think it is. They're seeing the top of the chart, right? You're getting overwhelmed by like, I'm never going to get over here, right? But you're realizing 10 pounds alone.
Yeah.
Smooth it out, and you don't have to be super skinny. I call it. You don't want roly polies,
Right.
jelly. I don't mind if I'm a little bigger. I just don't want, like you said, the weirdness of it.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
no,
glad you brought up. You brought up
yes,
the
that's what I mean.
Tony Soprano, great episode, great example because he had even the persona that he admitted on the show. There was this alpha male, leader of mob that even though
Right.
it was crazy because I saw from season one till the end, and you saw him gain a little weight throughout that. But with his weight gain, that's the mentality. That's why your mentality is everything. This man seemed even more alpha, near the end of the season because of what he had to do in relationship to the organization he was in. So that's the thing. Some people, women, whatever, are more susceptible to emotional trauma with weight gain. Guys can fall prey to like depression and things like that. But we more men tend to have that, either that buddy on the side or a big brother say, "Yo, dude, let's go to the gym. You looking sloppy, dog," and that's
Well,
important.
oh, that's a great point. If you finish what
Support
going,
system. How many women? Who is in your support system? Is your mother in there? Is your sister? Is your cousin? Is your daughter? Is your coworker? Who's in your support system? Because for weight loss and better uh,
we'll get on that, Debbie. Yes.
lifestyle, support systems can help when you are lacking that motivation or confidence.
Well, Debbie makes a good point about menopause. Debbie, I
Yeah.
looked this up in detail. Okay, when it comes to menopause, first of all, it's premenopausal. You gain the weight. After the menopause, you're balanced out. You rode the wall down. You're good.
Yeah.
After that year, then we become normal. Okay, it's
Right.
and it starts like late 30s. Nobody
Right.
ever would. And then they're like, why did you look at a woman in her late 30s? Just not the ones who had children because it's like that's another whole curve, right? But each kid, this is on average. How crazy is this? 10 to 12 pounds. That's if she's not fat, right? She's just an average girl. Then you go into premenopausal or
Right.
perimenopausal, like right before. Then that's 10 to 12 pounds. Just is gonna pop on you. So now she has two kids then she's going into menopause. There's the 35 pounds. There it
Right.
is. So it's like the way I look at it, like Debbie, you get ready for the fucking wall. You go into the wall and hit. And I'm telling you, with all of my heart, I've researched done death, and I'm losing weight. Okay,
Yeah.
it's the fucking food, because God made us where we should be able to go through menopause like a normal person, right?
Right.
It shouldn't be at the levels that women are experiencing this horror. And it's coming from because you can't the caffeine and the fucking processed foods and then the sugar. Sugar is like death to a menopausal woman.
Yeah.
You want to feel every single
Like
thing of
it's
menopause.
like death to everything. Death to
Party's over.
everything.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yes, you can look gorgeous. Yes, you can still look amazing and keep your weight down at any age, 100%. But you can't. You. That's what I'm saying about. I'm gonna say this with men too. Once you hit your early 40s, let's say, I'm late 30s even now because everybody's so fucking out of shape. The party's over. That's what nobody really wants to tell you. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
still look great. 100%. But you're not drinking every night anymore. That's over. Sugar is over. You get, it's like, I call it, you get time to pay the piper now. You guys, so you
Yeah,
got to make a decision. I don't want to, no, I can. No, you can't.
yeah. I
You
will
can't.
thank you, Debbie, for tapping in. I'm going to send uh this,
14 years out of
yeah, I have actually a list of great foods for pre and postmenopausal women. Most of them are fruits and veggies, and I'll send that to Amy, and she can forward that to you. But thanks for tapping in.
But that's
Uh,
when men are complaining the most. That's when the divorces are happening. That's when the lack of sex is happening. It's all tied into the body.
yeah,
And Debbie, I can't believe, Debbie, you're 14 years out of menopause. Holy crap, you look amazing. See,
yeah, yeah.
14 years out of menopause. That's
And
crazy. She,
that's tension. This is not in no way am I condoning cheating, but I'm just telling you what the logistics are and what the results are. A lot of couples do get together where they may not even be in shape, and this is mostly on the women's side. A guy may be in a basketball jock in high school, may not be even weight training, but he's 25, 30, 35, looking regular, straight up and down, not bad. And the woman he's with starts out like that, but I get it. Kids, school life, soccer mom, all that stuff, you tend to like put yourself last as women, and that's a lot of times also how the weight accumulates, and you'll slowly see a shift in the your partner's weight, the woman's weight going up. And at that point, they say this is a great point because women usually they sometimes they'll go from 140 pounds to 200 pounds, 180 pounds, but all those stages in between, you as men, if that's your significant other, you should hold each other accountable. When you see her gaining 10, 20 pounds, that's when you step in and say, look, babe, let's hit the gym together.
I
And
look
I
at
think,
that. Your body, once you go over, depending on your height, depending
yeah,
on how you carry your weight, but truthfully, once you go over 50 pounds, which most people are,
yeah, yeah,
it's starting to do irreparable damage to your body. Then
yeah,
you're going to have skin problems. Then it starts with the
yeah,
misshapen. You watch that window. God made our bodies. Ideally, when you're giving birth, that 10 pounds, that's okay. And then the other 10 pounds that's a coming. I just call it like preventative. And men, before,
exactly.
talk
They
about
they
red pill, they
got
hit the
a
wall earlier, by the way. Men start with all that weight, girl. They start
yeah,
at 35. They drop like 38% of their testosterone at
yeah,
35. That's seeing these 36-year-olds with no friggin' hair and big guts. Never in my life have I can't believe it. So the men have to go even earlier with watching
yeah,
that. They have, I
yeah,
think, I know guys here on Staten Island, 62-inch waists. They
yeah,
can't even breathe, and your organs alone. But when it comes to sex life, I mean, it's in the way.
yeah.
Stomach curtains. Who's doing this? You know what I mean? Like, are you gonna have? Are you having great sex with a stomach curtain? Are we, Debbie? Are you doing that with a 62-inch waist? You gotta have that thing on top of you. It's just not sexy. Then people, what do? They eat more. Then you go online. Let me go
Yeah,
look at a girl's dog.
yeah.
It's
Food is made to be food a comfort. It's like a drug, like you said.
it's
People get depressed because they're already in this state, and then they eat more to calm themselves or try to ease or satisfy that depression and just get bigger. But yeah, the whole thing about that is the way when you put in work early, you can maintain a healthy sex life. When, like I said, I'm gonna repeat this, guys, women, couples, when you see your counterpart, your significant other get up like 10, 20 pounds, guys, more of you guys need to say, listen, babe, let's go to the gym. We're gonna start working out together, even if we have to start one day a week on the weekends. And I will hold the guys accountable. You're in relationships, you guys are not doing that. Especially like if your woman has a job like you, but she also takes care of the kids and does a lot of stuff at home, get a home gym, whatever. Men need to do that because you see your women growing in front of you. You see them gaining weight. So you need to be more accountable and, being that structure, that compatible person that
Well,
support.
we should talk about that, because
Yeah.
that how do you say to a woman now, especially now? I'm going to talk for the girls, Debbie. I'm going to throw the girls under the bus for a second, okay? Because I have to. We have a yes light epidemic going on with women. Yes lights. Like my best friend, she always talks about it, Debbie, right? But she's like, I don't know. She says she's like 40 pounds overweight or whatever, and she's open about it. She's just like,
Uh,
I'm chubby. I know it. I like food, whatever it is. And then women sit around. She actually argued with a group of women. She's bulls out like me. And then they sat there going, "You're a beautiful girl. You're perfect. You're this." And she goes, "No, I'm not. I know it. It's like a smoker. Like, what you're gaslighting me. And this is what
uh,
kills me. They're actually fit shaming now. I had one woman tell me
Oh yeah,
recently, Debbie, look, like, oh well, you're older now, just let it go. Like, what do we let it go?
it's
Like, just
programming. That's programming.
it's total programming, and it's totally
Yeah,
gaslighting. No, it's not. It's, and at the end of the day, it's not healthy. It's just, it's not healthy to glorify, you know. Or I love, and I
yeah,
looked up a lot of influencers that were like morbidly, like it's like 600 pound kind of thing. They're all dead. Like, and with it under 40 years old, they're dead. Nobody's really being, how do I say it, totally honest. So the way
yeah.
I think a man should tell a woman that she's gaining weight, which is
You
going to
know
be
what,
hard.
Debbie?
I would say to her, this is what I would say to her if I was a man, and like, because I'm telling you how we could receive it.
Okay.
You got to go back to the unhappiness of like, I know, like, say she's getting, when she's stressed out of her mind, getting dressed, and she's just like, everything's gross. I don't want to go out, and you just got to sit her down at one point and tell her, I,
Yeah,
you're not happy. You know what I mean? Like my ex-husband, even like when I had gained the weight, you know, he wanted to come in the shower with me. I was like, get out! Like it was like he was, and then he sat me down, and he was just like, I don't care what you have to do to be confident, but I want to see my wife, and I want to be like, so
exactly.
whatever holding you back from that,
Absolutely.
you're hurting our life. She doesn't want to go out. She looks like shit. I don't want to go to that wedding now. I don't want to go to that. It's stemming. I don't want to have sex tonight. It's all stemming from there. So it's more about like you're convincing her that that one factor is hurting the whole relationship. So she's not overwhelmed with all the shit. I can't go to the gym. I can't do this. I can't. But, hon, if it's just lose the weight, the rest will fall into line. The
It's so
rest will,
true.
and gyms aren't even the best either for some people in the beginning, right, Debbie? Like, just start with a 15-minute workout, 6 minutes. It don't matter. Just
Yeah.
start, baby step. Just start.
Debbie, I want to interject. That's awesome. When you said COVID hurt so many people, it's crazy because about 3 weeks, 3 months into COVID, you know what I did when the gym shut down? I went right to this. I have a massive, awesome gym now in my home, but I went to Walmart and I bought myself two 20-pound kettlebells, two
Yeah.
40-pound kettlebells. Walmart has a really a decent, weight training, weight product line in one of the aisles, and I did that. And there's a lot of my fellow like content creators and fitness buffs. They did that because you don't know you want to circumvent things so that if there is another lockdown or whatever, you can still work out at home. You can still cook your healthy meals at home. Like I told people on my live the other day, jog around your development, walk, just start walking. So you can put things in place to where you at your own house where you can still be active and healthy and keep the weight off. When you can't get to a gym. So
Right.
yeah,
But I just get everybody those extremists, and then they get like, it's just like, I got to clean out my closet. I'm going to go join the gym. You're just adding more stress. Now you got to, like, Debbie, now you're worrying about yoga pants. Now you're worrying about anxiety
yeah,
people in the, anything that makes it too inconvenient for you. Like you said, just walk every day. Then the next day add in water. Then the next day add in something else. It doesn't really matter. Just move your body. And I
yeah,
like, and it kills me. Again, I think it's overwhelming. Just go on a stupid YouTube, pull up a thing, 5 minutes. That's it. That's how I started.
yep.
That's how I started. And
Go on,
just a little bit.
go to
And I think,
YouTube. Go to YouTube on Manny's Fitness Fortress on my channel. A ton of workout videos, a ton of wellness videos for women, a ton of nutrition videos for women. So that's
and
a really great point.
now I'm working on building muscle, which is really hard at this late age. But this is another thing that women didn't do. So Debbie, like, so the women who are just like naturally, who had a naturally nice figure, and then they call it hit in the wall again. It's usually lack of muscle, because we
Right.
lose so much muscle when we get older, and that's the only thing that, like, I think that saves you. Because now that I'm starting to build it up, and we
It
also
does.
get the butt problem. Women from the, when we give birth, nobody's talking about that too. I call it flat back. You lose the curvature in your back. You're standing like this with the pelvic tilt, holding the belly, breastfeeding the baby. We lose our asses, we lose our backs. It goes smooth, and then women think
Right.
that's irreversible. It's not. That's posture, because I've done it over the year. It took me 1 year. That's the truth. That one took me a long time, because when I told you I got rid of the ugly lover, I wound up becoming prettier. No, I have a philosophy
Yeah.
on that. If the person
You
makes
lost.
you ugly, if the person makes you uglier, it's toxic as fuck.
Yeah.
That,
You lost 100. You lost 200 pounds of weight by getting rid of that person.
that's right. No, and he was no, and then I realized that you're no. We got to talk about that,
Yeah.
because somebody who is lower, and I mean that. I mean that. Men and women, they will sabotage you. They will sabotage your
Oh,
workouts.
most
They will
likely.
resent you. She will get jealous you're going to the gym. She's going to get jealous of your attention.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is totally healthy for your sex life too. You can't have one totally jealous,
absolutely,
and
absolutely.
that's what he started to do. I'm working out. He's sabotaging it. I'm seeing it because if
They're like
they're like, I
trolls.
want you to have an insane body because that
They're,
takes work,
they're like
and it
in-person trolls. They're like in-person trolls. When you have trolls, they always said trolls online, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. They're saying things negative because trolls are usually people beneath you or not as
yes.
successful as you. They haven't attained what you've attained. And people in your life that don't support you, that sit back from a distance and they're envious, they're in-person trolls. That's all they are. So you got
Right,
to
and
circumvent
not a
that.
knock, and that Debbie, that's true, and not only because this field is media is horrific, but it does start. How do I say it? From like I go back to that again. Like if somebody wants to rip you up, don't get so because women get so self conscious. I mean, my God, I'm pretty thick skinned, but I mean to be called fat pig every day. But this way I look at it, like it's usually just the weight. We
Yeah,
go back again. Where women are like you said, oh, my face doesn't look right, my clothes look bad on camera, my skin is getting weird. It's going here we go again. It really is going back to the weight. Once again.
absolutely. Great point. We're going to move
All
on to
goes
like,
back to the thing. But watch who you're around. If they make you ugly,
yeah,
that's that's a
that
sign.
that that ties into our next
Yeah.
point too. Watch who you're around because that all ties into mental and the confidence and stuff like that. So ultimately, benefits of body weight management, your lifestyle for that creates better, good benefits create better mental and social skills and better emotional stability. So going into
Can
that,
I ask you a personal question? Do you think all the radicism of the ageism and the age shaming that is off the chart, especially for women, and the men all saying like, I gotta go with someone in their 20s, even if they're 60. But I think hear my philosophy on this one. Not only because it's pumped in the media to like just to age shame because they don't want older women speaking, but I also think it's because of lifestyle. This is where I'm going to sell it in like a realistic because they know everybody's so lazy, so fucking out of shape, so horrible. They're just like, it's kind of like the only alternative. It's like, I got to just go with somebody that's young because their just bodies are falling apart. It's almost like, you know what I
you know
mean?
what?
It's like an anomaly. Like
That's
when they see it,
interesting.
because I get asked that all the time by young men. I get cracked. And you know what the reason is because they tell me sometimes. They're like, the girls in our age group are really not good. This is what they're
Yeah.
telling me. Oh, I mean, because I always thought I don't. Well, I'm not interested, right? I want to stay in my. I like to stay in my range somewhat here, but I couldn't understand it. I was like, why do you want some old? Why do you want an older woman? Like, I don't. I don't get it. Now I know why. They're telling me they don't take care of themselves. It's an epidemic. It's a falsehood. This
Yeah.
whole
Well, this,
Kardashian.
this, this is where that stems at too. The mental.
They have
I
to
let's
go older.
let's get it this way. When you're a woman, young women from the ages of 18 to about 25, 27 ish, you're in your prime. Physically in your prime, whether you work out or not, before you
Right.
start gaining weight, before you start the metabolism slows down, all that, you're in your prime. And let's say
Never get to.
a lot of women in that age group, young women, they for some reason think they're never going to get old. They think they're never going to age. They think
Right. You got to
their
start
values are
now.
going to drop. They think they can keep the same way.
Wow.
Do you believe, even though I'm a like national level athlete, do you think I eat the same way I ate when I was 18? You could eat that garbage at Wendy's and McDonald's at
That's what I'm saying.
18.
I eat a donut and
Yeah,
have a cup of
so
coffee.
that whole thing is true. Like this age group today in 2024, 18 to 27, they're like nonchalant about everything, eating whatever they want. They have
It.
all types of stimuli from all these outside sources, and it's just a lack of respect, and they think they can do whatever they want and with no consequence. Whereas now it seems like the women from 30 to 40, 45, 50 are more conscious about health, maintaining life decisions that are surrounding their health and making better choices. Because the choices you make at 20 years of age, the choices you make at 25 years of age is going to dictate how your life unfolds at age 40, age 50, age 60. And
We
that's
have
what you
we
understand.
now at 35. This is insane. We
What's
have
that?
between the men with the low sperm counts and the low
Yeah,
testosterone, and then the combination of the women, the
yeah,
with obesity and infertile, we have the most maternal deaths ever. All this system back we go again. You're
yeah.
miserable because you're fat. You can't have a baby because you're fat. You can't. Everything's going back to this weight thing.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
an epidemic. It's the
The
number one.
infertility, the obesity, brain fog, depression,
Everything
outbreak,
is going back to your
crazy crazy hormone fluctuations. Guys, it's all related to your food. That's why when you clean up your body, you clean up your diet, your body, will change, which is your outward appearance to guys, to girls. When you clean up your diet, your health will change. Your mental health, your brain and your gut are related. They're connected. They even say in the embryo in the body when a
yes,
baby is
gut
born,
brain.
the gut and the brain are actually connected.
Yep.
So you got to when you clean up your diet, and you can do so even if you don't start working out right away. When you clean up your diet and go clean for about 6 months, you're going to see a difference in your attitude. You're going to see a difference in your perception of how you interact with people. Many people, they've done studies. They've taken high fructose corn syrup, refined sugars out of people's diets and case studies, and depression totally went away. No medication.
ADHD. The other
Yeah,
one, everybody's got friggin'
yeah,
everybody's spectrum for God's sakes,
yeah,
and then that kind of ties into our point
yeah,
about that to all mental
yeah.
health. So
Right.
it's endless. So if you're telling, this is how we have to sell it to the world. So you're telling the world, here's something that can make you younger, feel better, improve every single area of your life. Forget about jobs.
Yeah,
You're getting over. They don't even
yeah.
look. They don't even check resumes anymore. Like you said, they go right on your social media. They look at you and judge you in a minute. You
Your
will get the
number.
job. Somebody
Your
else.
number. You're a number. You're a
Take.
number.
It's like it's trying to. It's like talking to somebody and being a millionaire. That's hard. Getting your ass off the couch. No,
Yeah,
you can have it. Like it's possible. You could be a poorest person, and you can have a great body. And then people
yeah.
go, "Oh, I'm so poor," but you'll be poor and look good.
I tell you,
And there are more options.
I gave this example. I have a lot of
Or
friends. I've owned Porsches. I've
a
owned
lot.
Porsches. I've owned Porsches. I've owned Audis, Mercedes in the past. But I actually extended this question to someone. I said, "Listen," I said, "You got a nice car. You got a Range Rover. Would you continue if you had to make a choice, live a expensive lifestyle, a prominent lifestyle, have terrible health, or be super healthy and drive around in a Toyota Camry and be in that type of social window because you'll be worried about what people think about you? What's more important to you?" And I swear to God, they have studies on this. People are so concerned about how they look to other people. They're concerned about the wealth aspect. They're concerned about looking good, but the health is the last thing that we invest in, and it's backwards. It's
And
backwards. You
dying,
shouldn't be
and then
worried about a freaking $100,000 car or some $500 Michael Jordans or a Louis Vuitton bag more than you were worried about your health. A friend of mine, a doctor that I follow, he said, "This is not a healthcare system. This is a sick care. The whole purpose is to be preventative, to stop things before
well,
you're
there's no
happening."
money in health. There's no
Yeah,
money. First of all, they don't want us living that long, and they want us just enough disease to
yeah,
keep feeding the cow. I call it.
yes,
That's it.
yes,
Everyone's sick. We know the game. We know the rules, and it's very difficult. The only thing we can do is, how do we say it? You got it. This is how you do it. Authentic conversation, talking about the truth. It's little
yeah.
steps.
Yeah,
Little steps
that's
in there.
perfect. That's perfectly awesome. They're incredibly true. It's just sad, but they want you living long enough just to be like a worker bee and keep feeding the machine, and also just creating and building resources for them, but also not building yourself up, not extending resources to yourself. And
Yeah.
it's just
And
backwards. They
speaking
got
of
to.
too, let's red pill it for a minute. Women now have more money than ever. Women are out earning men on the tenfold, right? So what does the
Yeah,
guy got now?
yeah,
We
yeah,
don't need your money. You better be hot. We want you to look
yeah,
good. The younger,
yeah,
the old, that's all that, like you said about the Porsche getting out of the Porsche. It's
yeah,
not really affecting us so much. You get out of that pickup truck with some guns.
yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
the
And
thing.
women will sleep with a homeless man if he's sexy enough. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just that's what's doing it, and you can't
Hey,
buy it.
and the thing is,
Genuine desire, buy.
you
You could
gotta
be a
win.
million.
I'll
Yeah,
say kudos to all those women out there that are bringing the bag, that are making the money, that still value their men's relationship in their life. Like they don't try to one up him, and they don't try to,
nope.
they still remain, keep that maintenance that the man is a leader. I kudos to all those women because you do have some females that they come up, they level up, they make that bag. Their guys making 40 grand, they're making 120, and you don't want to belittle your man.
Nope.
Especially if you were in a position where maybe you were overweight, you leveled up your fitness, you leveled up your finances. You always want to be, always tickle a man's ego, your man's ego, because that's so important in a relationship. Once a man feels that he's no longer needed, he won't stick around because that's our
But he
purpose.
brings
We're
that to the table.
yeah,
If he doesn't bring money to the table,
yeah,
right? Then
or
the only
resources.
thing he has to bring me is knowledge and
Yeah,
discipline and a lifestyle other than that. You know what I mean? That's all he can bring me.
right,
And don't let's not knock genuine desire because we're gonna go on the let's go on the gold digger bus for a second. Okay. So now you could buy any gold digger you want. You can buy her. Sure you can. She's gonna do the pool boy because he's hot. Yeah,
yeah,
you want the woman to genuinely die. If you add money to the mix, well, holy shit, forget it. You got the holy grail. But the point is, you want her to want you, and
right,
that's
right,
the and that's how you how do I say it? And it keeps her moving. When the woman genuinely desires the man, which is rare, because we usually go for protecting and providing first before
right.
attraction, which is what I'm trying to avoid. I want authentic connections. That's what I'm trying
That's
to
what
say.
it's
Hey,
supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. Protecting, providing before attract for like long
and that's
term.
money. They think
Yeah,
it's money.
yeah,
Protecting me from myself,
yeah.
protecting me from getting overweight, protecting me from all bad sex life. Oh, and I got something funny on the sex life, by the way. All right, I'm gonna get a little gross here, Debbie.
Yeah.
But here, hi, John. Okay, because
Hey,
since I
what's
drove
up,
through
John?
the
Appreciate you.
hill, guys, there's another epidemic. They call it sloppy, right? Okay, I'm gonna get really gross on this because I hear it. Because God knows you know how you hear it. Uh, Lazy lovers too. Okay, I get like
Oh,
she's starfish. They just lay there, pillow princesses, and a
oh,
lot of men. I couldn't believe it, and I had this big fight with like 5 of them because I thought they were just being disgusting when they were saying that girls are like ran through down there because they're confused that they think like multiple penises extreme the vagina, right? Or babies. They need a little anatomy lesson. But the bottom line is what I really, really came down to it when they started to really describe it to me. My friend Peter, I made him really describe it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I know what it is. They're friggin' out of shape. It's no Kegels,
yeah,
right? Like if you get some old yoga bitch, she's like this.
yeah,
It's all muscle. You understand? So she's picture it. She's young. She's totally out of shape, right? Young women are already right
yeah,
down there. If we know, right? So now she's totally out of shape. She's lazy in the bed, which is adding to it, and you have no muscles and weak pelvic floors. This
right.
is where they're. She's
That
ran
that
through. She's loose.
before
She
you
has no fucking muscle.
before you go, I want to keep that thought, guys. She just mentioned pelvic floors. I just want
Yeah.
to side note real quick. When you're pregnant, ladies, you need to do yoga. I have a video up on that. Yoga for pregnant women and Pilates because it strengthens the pelvic floor. It's advantageous when giving birth. And like you said, any physical activity, but stretching, mobility is so important for women for that pelvic floor. So anybody going through a pregnancy, get a good trainer. It's very advantageous to do yoga or Pilates. There's actually exercises called yoga and Pilates for pregnant women to strengthen your pelvic floor. I just wanted to throw that in
Yeah.
there.
And I'm not gonna say how old I was, but I was older. I had my second baby older, right? Like pushing 40. You know what I mean? Like I had my older baby. And a young woman who was trying to get pregnant, she was like one of my negative Nancy's, I call her. And she kept saying, well, women are older, you're not gonna get pregnant. You have no well, it's so funny. When I didn't even mean to, he was a little oops baby, but because I thought the same myth. I was like, I'm older. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
not gonna I don't have to worry about this. Well, it turns out I go to the doctor. I said, how did this happen? And he just goes, and then because after my first one, I started to get in really good shape. So I started green drinking like crazy. I lost the weight. The doctor said, you made yourself super fertile again. I didn't
Yeah.
even realize it. It gets into every single thing. It makes you so with women. The first thing is like, I'm infertile. Are you infertile again, or are you fat?
Yeah,
Get in shape.
that's so
Your
important,
body. I
especially
don't want to.
ladies. Ladies, if you have a lifestyle beyond your 40s or 50s as a woman, where you're creating extra blood flow with exercise, cardio, your blood flow is the first precursor to nutrient delivery. That's one thing. So if you're eating clean, if you're eating good foods, whole foods, powerful healing foods, and you have good blood flow because of your exercise, then you're facilitating healthy nutrient delivery. That nutrient delivery affects your libido, your estrogen levels, ladies. Your fertilization, your
Foods can
body
support.
ridding itself of body ridding yourself of toxins, which a lot of times can lower your fertilization. All that is stemmed from what you put in your mouth. So
This
that's
is
very
why
important.
I think the age, this is because of all the things we're talking about. This is where we're pushing everybody to go with children. Like, no, I mean, teenage women, and because they're just getting desperate. This is what I'm thinking. They're seeing,
Right,
they're not seeing, they're aging them out for the wrong reasons. Your
right,
age
right,
shouldn't age, you got to go by the individual
right.
because you can't, they're age shaming a woman that's 35, let's just say on average, right? Because they're so fucking unhealthy. You're not seeing a real 35-year-old. You're absolutely right. That's the prime of your life. You're
Yeah,
fucking right there. You're seeing a 35-year-old that's aging 10, 15 years older. So, of course, you're saying it. It's like
yeah,
girls with height on men. Oh, and can I
yeah.
talk about that when we're talking about looks and health too? Women have to really watch because they're shorter than ever. This is wild. The average woman has, people go, oh, they're shrinking because girls get their periods now at 9. It's
Oh
fucking
my
insane.
God. Yeah.
So it only grow like 2 years after our periods. So they're stopping at size like when they're 12, 13. That's it.
The,
That's
hor-
their height.
the
They're
hormone.
five.
Listen, guys. Listen, guys. I'm gonna say
It's
this.
crazy.
We gotta wrap this up
Yeah.
pretty quick, but I'm gonna say that what she just said is so important. Girls getting their periods really early, hormone like manipulation through food. If you guys, it all starts. A lady on Instagram post yesterday said she didn't realize she was poisoning her pre-autistic son by cooking in air fryers. Guys,
Yeah.
do not use air fryers that are coated with Teflon. There are
Oh,
some that are made with stainless steel because those forever chemicals seep into your body. They stay there for years. But that's one thing that can cause the lymphatic system disruption and also the hormonal changes, speeding up and puberty and all that stuff. But the main thing is a lot of parents don't know this, but they're starting out early toxifying their kids, like these Captain Crunch cereals and stuff like that. Um, uh, Captain, was it blueberries? What is cocoa? All that
Cocoa
stuff.
Puffs.
Yeah, all that stuff that's colored. We never knew this years ago, but all those little colorful cereals, they're all like 5 or 6 different colors in one box. Those colors mean something. Now we all know that they're red 40 dyes, yellow 6. Those are hormone inhibitors, guys, and they lead to Alzheimer's in later years, and they lead to hormonal um, disruption in kids and adolescents. So we inadvertently are poisoning our loved ones. I hate to say it like that,
And we're
but
all, all of us have mental disorders and
yeah,
anxiety.
they come
So,
from red 40 dyes. Red
look,
40
crazy.
dyes.
You want to be beautiful, you have to eat beautiful.
Yes, red
That's
40
the,
dyes. And
and
this,
if you're, I got to
yep,
say one last crazy girl tip to guys and girl. Okay. There's only two things because I have CPTSD. It's just the way it is forever because I abused when I was a child.
yeah,
But my point is, if the girl's crazy, which most of us are, there, and she's not working out and fit, and she's on drugs, there's no other way to get around any of the disorders, any of them, without unless you work out. There's the answer is within. That's
yeah.
it. There's no other that from rage to there's nothing else. And they, what's the first thing in trauma therapy? They start telling you, you got to do yoga. And I remember screaming at them, friggin' yoga? This is my solution. And
Yeah,
meanwhile, it really, meanwhile, ironically,
yeah.
exercising is.
And the thing is, the purpose of all this is to get it right up here, get it right in here, and the best way to do that is to push out stuff that's in here that shouldn't be in here, and to introduce stuff that should be in here. And exercise is like the best way to do that. Just like me, I haven't eaten yet. A little bit of intermittent fasting. I drank
Me neither.
lemon spring water with lemon juice.
Yes.
Lemon water is one of the best detoxes, ladies. That's a easy and a great way to start. Just start drinking lemon water an hour before you eat your first meal, and start that journey. Once you start detoxing, you know, fatty tissue and forever chemicals and all that stuff, and we're going to have all kinds of videos on that too. That will start the process of actually affecting how you mentally and how you emotionally react to people in your lives, namely your significant others.
That's
But
it.
that'll wrap it up. I know, guys, we're a little bit winded, but like her and I, we can talk forever about this kind of stuff.
Yes.
Um, I'm gonna
And
go
it
down
gives you
my.
dopamine. I'm an adrenaline junkie. Let's be real. Gives you dopamine.
Hey, it does. I'm all my platforms, guys. In case you didn't know, this is gonna be on YouTube too. It's gonna be very well edited. I'm gonna spread it to my other platforms. YouTube, Manny's Fitness Fortress. TikTok, Manny's Fitness Fortress. And also Instagram right here, and then on Manny
Nice.
Brandon on Facebook. And this lady right here, Amy, is on all multiple platforms. I'm gonna let her tell you that.
But Facebook is my main for my live right now because that's the safest for right now. That won't get shut down. My Facebook.
And also tap into her here on Instagram to get all kinds of juicy content. Guys, that'll be it. Make sure you guys follow up every week with both of us. New
Yes.
content dropping, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
All right.
You have to.